Oh no.
Missing.
Greg?
Missing.
I thought this was a duet.
Missing.
Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds.
Missing.
Can you hear me?
Missing. Oh, missing.
Bonk.
Welcome to Miss Thing. I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim, and this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the missed things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key moment from our Miss Thing's storied career and do what we're best at, which is make it all about us.
And you just told me off pod that you have a very important question to ask me, and I'm dying, pray tell.
Well, yeah. I've been seeing something on Twitter sort of going around lately that I just feel like is such Miss Thing fodder. And it's the moment you knew. Meaning the moment you knew you were gay. So the one that I saw, and then I think it was like there were a few after that, but the one that I saw was a picture of Sean William Scott shirtless, I think on the cover of People, completely waxed clean, but so like...
It's burned in my brain. I know that one. Yeah.
I mean, I remember it so well, but what's the moment you knew? Like, who was it?
Mine is, I was going to say, just like, I think some all-time Hall of Famers. That
Sure.
A lot of gays references Brian Phillippe's butt in Cruel Intentions.
Oh, major.
And I do feel like a lot of guys was Justin Timberlake on Rolling Stone.
Yes.
The vein going in his V, like, that was a very influential one.
Yeah, and his hair was not so dyed in that, which I think sort of helped.
Mine was arguably, you could say, too young, but there is a seminal Disney film called Mouse Hunt or Mouse Trap. I think it's Mouse Hunt. It's a Disney movie.
Live action?
Live action with Nathan Lane.
I do. Yeah, I'm remembering this. Okay.
And it's Nathan Lane and some man, bless his soul, he awakened my gay soul. And the premise of the movie is like a mouse, outsmarts them and they're trying to kill it the whole movie.
Of course.
Or trap it.
Incredible what got made in those days.
I know. And at one point, the mouse leads them into like a factory and they're chasing the mouse through a factory. And the guy's, not Nathan Lane, but the other guy, his sleeve gets caught in the machine and it starts to unravel like as if his clothing is yarn. I don't understand how it also did like shirt and pants and underwear, but in this scene it slowly unravels so that by the end of the scene all he has is just a ball of yarn that is strategically placed over his crotch.
Oh, that's
And me
big.
as like way too young of a little boy, I was like, can we rewind?
Yeah. And then pause. I'd like to pause and just make sure
I want to see what's behind that.
Totally. Yeah. Wow.
I know. And
I'd love to know his name and I'd love to see the scene.
Oh, we're going to put it up.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll make sure to pause it where, you need. We'll just...
And Inertias only look at the scene, late at night, behind closed doors.
Yeah.
However you like to relax.
Yeah, on your VCR. On your TV VCR combo.
We know all of our Jennifers have VCRs.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they're real ones.
When did you know?
Well, yeah, another Disney movie, Flubber. No.
Flubber? Okay, I can't believe I'm about to dox myself, and I know I'm using it correctly. Flubber is always the thing I choose when I do Hangman. When I am the person like who's gonna make Hangman, the person, place, or thing that I'm gonna make the person guess is Flubber.
Your word is Flubber.
Yeah.
Interesting. If only that could be a Wordle word. Mm-hmm. They would go to town with Flubber.
Do you have a go-to? I have go-tos for a lot of games, and my go-to for Hangman is Flubber. Anyways, answer the moment you knew, and also if you have a go-to.
Well, for Hangman, no, but my Wordle starting word is tears.
Oh.
T-E. You get a T, an E, an A, an R, and an S, and those are the big ones.
And you could also say tears, right?
That's not how I write it, and that's not how I That's not my intention
Yes,
when I put it on the page
Yeah.
on the phone. The moment I knew. Well, Chris O'Donnell in Batman Forever was big for me. The suit that was really, really big for me. But honestly, this might sound totally crazy.
Yeah.
The big one for me was Ben Stiller in Zoolander.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was a thing for everyone, but it was certainly a thing for me.
I think there's a shirtless scene in that, or
His
something
body's
else.
insane.
His butt in Along Came Polly. I remember being shocked that I was into it.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that, but
never seen
I've
Along
always
Came Polly?
wanted to see Along
Yeah.
Came Polly, but I've never actually. It's one of those movies I've always wanted to see, never actually seen it. But
Hank Azaria is like a nudist in it.
he's also got an insane body.
He has an insane body, and then the end of that movie, spoiler alert, 20 years old, the end of that movie is Ben Stiller like walking naked, like taking a page from Hank Azaria's thing, and like you see his butt, and I remember being like, okay, rewind, zoom, pause, turn off lights.
Okay, someone get my ass to Blockbuster so I can see Ben Stiller's ass in Along Came Polly. And hopefully Hank Azaria's as well.
Oh, yeah, multiple times.
Okay, no, we're watching ACP in my house tonight.
ACP?
Along Came Polly. Just
I
keep
thought you
up.
were doing ASAP, and then you threw me for a loop. I was about to be like, that's not how you spell ASAP.
that's ASAP. All right.
We have to go right now, ACP.
Well, in that case, we should go ACP to our
Dad Mom Sauce.
Dad Mom Sauce. Yeah, doll of the day, mother of the moment, sister of the second. Our famous world-renowned segment where we talk about the person, place, or thing that we are super obsessed with at the moment. Tim, do you have one?
I do. And this is one of those times where I'm actually going to say a friend. A real life friend. Which this one goes out to my friend Katie. Famously, you've never met her.
And I'm
exist.
calling out to her on the pod to sort of care about me.
I'm sure if she ever hung out with you, it is kind of crazy that you guys have never been in the same circle, but like you have a lot of friends.
Seems quite
She
intentional.
has a lot of friends, and it just feels like it just hasn't lined up yet. But one day,
Well, I
we will
know
be on this
all
pod,
about her,
and you will be like, I met Katie.
Yeah.
But Katie, what I love is like, there aren't enough friends as you become adults who like throw parties for like but they're not like ragers, but she'll just be like, everyone come over for Saturday, we'll do like a craft day, or like I'll have like a themed moment. And she's been doing that a lot lately, and it's just so fun and chill where we're like we're like, what's it called when we did for Halloween, like you do pumpkins and you
Like jack-o'-lanterns.
Décolletage. No, that's the
Décolletage.
You know, where you're like taking the glue and you're putting like paper all over.
Papier-mâché?
It's that. What is that?
Papier-mâché.
Do you see the pumpkin off screen?
I'm not sure
Anyways.
what I'm even looking at. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Can I
wow,
hold?
bring it. Yeah.
Wait. No, when you put the strips of paper on top.
Yes.
Paper mache. I said it 63 times. I've already repeated myself.
It's called paper mache. Is it really?
The strips of paper, you put in the glue, and then you put it over the top, the balloon, and then you pop the balloon and you sort of you take it out.
No, but that's not. Maybe it is that. I still feel like there's another name for it.
It's called paper mache.
Okay. Well, I did hear you, but I just don't
nice.
want to admit. Yeah.
These little strips of pumpkin paper.
It's
very cannibalistic in a way.
I know it's not the season anymore, but it's still in my living room, Jennifer.
I'm gonna leave it here for now.
Yeah, it's also like it's Thanksgiving. It's fall.
Yeah.
No, I'm not embarrassed. It's like you can see it, you guys, but then
it's going down.
So anyway, she does these parties for like no reason, just to like craft or like literally just like hang and have something to do like while you're hanging.
A great excuse to get together with friends and actually have like a plan.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
and it's
nice.
very low key. You can come and go as you please. And so she did this last week. I went. It was fun, and she was like a huge group of people. I was actually leaving your house to go to this hang.
Yeah, and it's so funny. He didn't so much as ask me if I'd be interested.
No, I knew you had plans. Actually, you were preparing for an event that upcoming weekend.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But I get there. It's like so fun. She has like all this like themed food, and she even has a Ina Garten's, what's her name?
Ina Garten.
Ina Garten's chocolate cake that looks like the Matilda cake. And I don't
She made that?
She made that, and I don't really like chocolate cake. It was to die for.
I'm the same. I don't really love a chocolate cake, but like a homemade chocolate cake, it's hard work. And it's way better than like boxed or store-bought.
And so I was like already Dad Mom Sauce vibes.
Of course.
But then the biggest thing was, so this is probably too much information, but like years ago I went on a date with one of her other gay best friend, basically. It was one of those things where I think we both quickly realized like, oh, it's more friend vibes.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we've had this joke ever since because we have Katie as a mutual friend that we now say, even though we went on one date for like an hour, that we're exes. And so whenever we see each other, we'll do like a bit of like, you have to leave the room because it's like still too fresh, you know, and like, oh, great, my ex is at the table. And so we do this.
That's hilarious.
And we don't really know each other that well, you know, like it's only like once we're in Katie's, like we don't hang out except for in Katie's thing. But at the same time, so we're doing this thing. Another person comes to this party who I've never met before. Him and I are doing this bit. And then this guy turns to me and right out the gate, he goes, oh, so you guys are exes? Why don't you both say what you didn't like about the other one?
What?
Literally, we both like stepped back and were like so nervous that the other one was gonna answer. And then thankfully Katie, ever the Dad Mom Sauce, like steps in and was just like, oh, like, she was like, why don't we like, we don't need to go into that. Like, let's go over here. And like, there was a charcuterie board that she like had done something that she wanted to like show us. And it was like ultimate distraction queen hostess.
Amazing
in a way
work.
that I was like, I wish, when I'm a host, I'm stressed. I am putting that stress on other people.
Oh, absolutely. That stress is not staying within.
I'm not diffusing any situation. If anything, I'm leaning in and I'm like, yeah, what is it? Why don't you like? And she is just like, yeah, if we get around to this, we do. If we don't, like, so the vibe you want as someone hosting a party.
Yeah,
so,
you're starting the arguments.
I'm like, someone walks in, I go, you're 20 minutes late.
Yeah, you're antagonistic from the jump, and that's sort of your hosting style, which is unique.
I don't want to host. No, I'm not a hostess.
You will travel, though.
Greg, tell me about your Dad Mom Sauce.
Oh, well, this Dot Mom sauce is so very loaded. But it's going to have to go to the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. LADWP for short. Yeah.
The original Dot Mom Sauce.
Totally. The LADWAP.
Yeah.
The LADWAP sauce.
It's my favorite Cardi song.
Yeah, same. So this week I'm gonna shout them out, and the reason for that
is shocking.
It's look, I never thought I'd find myself saying that.
I'm glad I'm sitting down.
Yeah, and prepare yourself. So basically, when I moved into my home, I've been in the same home for 10 years, 10 calendar years. And when I moved into this home 10 years ago, my trash bins at that point were beyond...
Sorry.
Were what?
Babies.
Yeah. Well, babies in comparison to what they are now.
Yeah.
Well, what they were until this week.
Okay.
They were practically unusable from the jump. They were covered in graffiti, gang tags.
Yeah.
Cracked like you couldn't imagine. I mean, like trash just seeping through them, honestly. So 10 years ago when I moved into my home, I first called the LADWP to inquire about receiving new bins. Just moved into this new home. Can I maybe get some new bins? And they said, we don't really do that. And I was like, well, this is your department. And you also says on the bins to call you about replacing bins. And I learned that day that that trying to get your bins replaced is a true fool's errand. She was like, well, we don't replace the bins unless, of course, they're damaged or there's graffiti on them or just a laundry list of all the things that were sort of wrong with my bins. Finally, I would call every year to try and get them replaced. And people would come and they'd look at them and they'd leave them and they'd drive away. For whatever reason. So last week, I was standing outside on trash day. They come to pick up my green bin. Mm-hmm. They take it, they dump it into the truck. The hand places it back down, and it simply shoulder snapped.
I heard that.
Just like the bin. The bin exploded into multiple pieces just from gently touching the ground. It burst into a million pieces. And I called and I inquired. I said, my bin is basically it does. Yeah. Can it be replaced? And they sent, God, if they didn't send a week and a half later someone to pick up these bins and replace them with fresh new ones, the week I am moving out of that home.
Well, can't you take them with you?
No, they're for the other home.
This story makes me sad because I kind of feel like, for me, there's something fitting about, like, do you know how when they say, like, dogs look like their owners? I kind of feel like it's also fitting that, like, the bin that's, like, cracked, seeping garbage, will burst into dust at the simplest touch.
Being placed on the ground.
Graffiti tagged.
Gangs. Local gangs. Multiple of the local gangs.
I'm forgetting all of the adjectives that you use, but as you were describing, I was kind of like, now this seems like the perfect home for Greg. You know, it feels like, wow, like the owner, like bin. You know?
Owner, like trash bin.
Yes. And on that note, should we take a break?
I think so. We're back.
This is a icon, legend, one of the biggest of all time.
Yeah, we're doing one of the greats today on the pod, honoring one of music and film and
pop cultures. Legend. This is just
fashion
part
icon.
One.
Right.
She's just part one. And of course, we are talking about Cher.
Taurus queen.
She is the fashion. She is like quite possibly the blueprint for fashion for so many people. Zendaya, who does she look to?
Cher. Casey Musgraves. Cher.
Cher is so... Kim Kardashian. So many people always want to be her. It's like no one can beat her and everyone wants to be her.
Wow. I mean, what a concise way to put it. Yeah. I mean, she's amazing. I mean, a hair icon.
I mean, she is also funny as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, so funny. Mom, I am a rich man. Yeah. I mean,
so
the
quotable.
Quotes. Yeah. A feminist beyond.
She...
also dating a hot young guy who apparently, like, his sex drive is not even high enough for hers.
She is the ultimate tweeter.
Totally. I mean, the spelling is just... All no caps. One does it like her.
She has had number ones in like 4, maybe 5 different decades.
Yeah.
She has, I mean, an Oscar win. She's an Oscar winner for Moonstruck.
Yep.
She's done so many.
I mean, she was in Mermaids. She was in Mask, which I mean is so you. If there's ever been a you film, it's
based off my life.
I mean,
Mamma Mia 2.
Oh my God! Right.
Burlesque.
Walking real Watushi.
I mean,
the way you just like moved your lips.
Was I trying to mimic you? Basically?
Yeah. It almost looked like you had fluoride again. Old technology.
I know. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
That moment was a dark moment in my life.
It was a dark. I don't know how we ever got past that.
But just like, I mean, believe.
What were we saying?
It literally invented like autotune. That song.
Inventor of autotune, Cher.
Yeah.
Do you believe in love after love? And we were also singing, and a strong enough to live without you.
The other day, I was in the grocery store. That was the song playing. I'm saying, like, she, after all these years...
She's still being played in grocery stores.
Yeah, she's still being played in grocery stores. And let me tell you, everyone was bopping their heads.
I mean, speaking of grocery store songs, if I could turn back town. That video with, like the cut, the pussy cut.
Oh, that is going to come back.
I think it's time to start making Cher all about us.
I think so too. So how I make Cher all about me is I obviously think of the masterpiece that is burlesque. Have I seen it? No. But I've seen enough clips. You know?
So interesting that you say that, because it's one of my favorite films of all time. I also have not seen it.
Okay, well, we need to watch that together. That would actually be really fun to watch. That would be really fun to watch live together for the first time.
Yes. Oh my God. Christina gives it her all.
Oh, yes.
Christina looking so much older then than she does now.
I know.
But
I mean, give it up for... Let's just take a moment for Christina Aguilera and how she looks in 2024.
I mean...
Not that it's all about looks, but I mean, she's doing it right.
Yeah, she's got the talent and the looks.
Whatever deal she did with the devil, Greg and I are next in line.
Yeah, we're happy to sign any contract the devil would like to sort
Take
of present
whoever
to
you
us.
Want. But, so I think of burlesque, and burlesque immediately makes me think of one of my best friends, Pat. Now, Pat is my unfortunately straight best friend.
It's hard to hear.
Yeah, and
nothing but love.
Nothing but love, Pat. But and you would think interesting that burlesque makes you think of Pat, but Pat had his bachelor party.
Yeah, all these things about Pat.
He had his bachelor party, and he had we went to a burlesque show, which makes me think of him. And also, there's nothing that this man loves to do more in life than to strip down. He loves to moon whoever he can. And
there's nothing more that I love in this world than when a man strips down.
Yeah, same, except for when it's my friend. And all love to you, Pat, but it's one of those things where he's giving it away for free. He's giving it away for free.
Of course.
But he does make it his own. He does do his own.
He does make it his own.
His own burlesque routine. And when I think of Cher and when I think of Pat, I think of Fearless. Both of those people will jump into anything at a moment's notice without showing any fear.
Wow.
And that makes me think of, I know, a lot of,
I'm skipping.
Yeah.
I'm leaping across the stones in the water.
And that makes me think of one time him and I were in Croatia. And as we were in Croatia, that makes me think, but it makes me think of, we were in Croatia, we were going to go whitewater rafting. As we were right about to jump in that raft, the tour guide is like, actually, it's way too windy and this is not safe. So unfortunately, we're going to have to call it. But there is bungee jumping right over there. Would you like to go bungee jumping? Ooh. And us being young, naive people, never once putting together that maybe if it's too windy to go whitewater rafting, then it's probably also too windy to go bungee jumping.
To be slung by a rubber band.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we raise our hands and we're like, us. So then we go. We get up to the bridge. We're now dealing with two people from Croatia who barely speak English.
Right.
Very sweet, but
and don't understand how weather works.
Exactly. And I love adrenaline, stuff like this.
Yeah. You would not think that just by listening to the pod on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching it on YouTube.
And you can find us
at Missing the Podcast.
Yes.
Wait, no, at Missing the Pod.
Oh, God.
On Instagram and TikTok, of course.
But so we get up to the bridge. We're for the first time seeing where we're going to jump from. And I start to notice for the first time ever in my friendship with Pat, I'm like, he looks like maybe he's scared. And so I'm like, Pat, are you okay? Are you scared? And he's like, what? No, not at all. And I'm like, okay, well, you're like pacing and you look a little pale. And he's like, no, I'm just like taking it all in. And I'm like, okay. And then the guy starts to go through the process and he's like, what you're going to do, it's really simple. We're going to tie like this very strong thing around your feet. And then you need to dive. You need to go head first. Because if you don't go head first, once the rope tightens, you will be like snapped forward basically. And it doesn't hurt you, but it's just like a more pleasant experience if you dive, because then you won't snap forward.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty significant case of whiplash.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you might have some whiplash. And so they're like, but all you have to do, you don't even have to be an expert diver, you just need to put your head first. And so I'm like, got it. I look over at Pat, and I just see him nervously pacing. And I'm like, we don't have to do this, like, if you're scared. And he's like, no, like, I'm fine. And then I'm like, I can't remember. They start, like, the way that the bridge was, it was like, I'm on the left and he's on the right. And so they were originally going to have us jump at the same time. And then I turned to Pat and I was just like, if you want, I was like, we don't have to do this, but if you want, do you want me to go first? And then, like, you can see.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I mean, I guess since you bring it up, you know, like, sure. I mean, I would be happy to, but yeah, you know what? Why don't you go first and then we'll see. So we're doing it. I see Pat, and he's like, I can see he's starting to calm down because I'm going first. They strap us both in. We're both at the post. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go first. And then both of them, and we're barely understanding each other because of the language barrier. They just shoot to Pat, and they're like, go, go, go. And he's trying to be like, no, he's going first. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go first. And they just keep shouting, chanting, like, go, go, go. And then like, Pat, it's fine. If you're scared, like, you don't have to do this. Like, I can go. And he's like, well, I'm not scared. And then he's like, watch this, see? And then jumps. And then, of course, being the man that he is, completely forgets to dive, and so just bicycle kicks with his feet or whatever, completely snaps forward.
The rubber band breaks.
Basically. And then I just see him, like, you know, he doesn't, like, hit right before the water, and then comes back up, shoots up, so then he's basically, like, eye level with us again, screaming, and then I'm like, Pat, are you okay? Are you really scared? And he's just like, I might be a little scared. As it's going down. And then the guy, who, by the way, who's like, we each have our own person guiding us, turns to me, and he was just like, that's why we had him go first. He goes, scared people go first. And I was he didn't say that's why, but he just looked at me and said, scared people go first.
Scared people go first.
Because I think if you are scared and you watch someone else go, you probably won't go.
Right.
And so they wanted, so it was a trickery thing where I was like, oh, I see what you did there.
God,
and
the
then
Peggies
honestly,
of Croatia.
And then honestly, like, they, like, let him, like, run and jump. And then, like, they basically, like, pushed me off, which was fine. But they let him saunter down, or then, like, scared people go first. And then, like, literally just, like, shoved me off.
Yeah, scared people go first. They trip you. Yeah. They put their leg in front of you, trip you.
I was literally like, I mean, I was fine with it. But then, like, it was only until I was thinking about this story today that I was like, wait, they, like, pushed me.
Right. They're like terrified idiots go second.
Gregory Alexander David Henry Thoreau Trimmer.
Wow, how do you make full birth name?
Yeah. How do you make Cher, full stop, all about you?
Well, it is so funny that you ask that. And, you know, when I was thinking about Cher, my mind sort of immediately went to the most recent thing I sort of, like, remember from her culturally. Well, not that I feel like I see her constantly still, but her most recent Christmas song, as you know, DJ Play a Christmas Song.
I mean,
I sing it all year long.
What a great title.
Yeah, and I was also convinced it was DJ Play My Favorite Song. So when I was thinking of, like, my story I thought that's what it was called.
Do you know what it makes? It makes me think of DJ. Come on, baby, play
that song. Play it all night long. Play that song. I wanna be dancing all night. Wow.
DJ, play that
motherfucking song.
J-Lo, we love, as much as we've had some choice words throughout this year, we love you.
We love you. Yeah. We do. And we wish you well.
Yes. Back to Cher.
Yeah. So, but DJ Play
a Christmas song.
A Christmas song. And J-Lo's DJ play. I was taken back to a moment in my childhood. I remember this afternoon/evening so clearly. I was being a terror to my father.
Sounds quite like today.
Yeah. I just remember I was in my feelings or mood about something, and he and I had a pretty ugly argument. And that night there was a pool party at our local community pool. They would do those maybe like twice a month in the summer, where they'd close the pool to like adults for the night, and it would be like middle school and high schoolers, and they'd go, and there was a DJ, and like you could go to the food court, and it was really fun.
Wholesome.
Yeah, wholesome. And then you could swim at night. It was really cool, and everyone would go in town. So I remember when I got to the party, I felt so guilty about the way that I was like screaming at my father. Like, I remember I was just so mean to him.
Wait, sorry, did you say how old you are?
I was in middle school.
Okay.
But that night I got to the pool party and I was feeling really guilty. So I was there and I was like, how can I make this up to my father?
Oh, no.
And I decided, well, why don't I go request his favorite song to the DJ. So I go up to the DJ booth. I'm a middle schooler, and they're playing all the like current hits of the day. Maybe it was J-Lo play. I can't remember what songs were popular back then, but it's only thong song. It's only like Happy Days Are Here Again.
The Entertainer.
Exactly. The Miss Thing theme song before it was the Miss Thing theme song. And I got up there and I said, DJ, he leans down and he was like, DJ, can you play the song Butterfly Kisses by Bob Carlyle?
I gotta be honest, I don't know this.
And I remember he goes, what? I was like, and I realized at that moment maybe it wasn't feeling right in my soul to ask for it, but I'd come this far and I said, the song Butterfly Kisses. And that's a song, it's like an older person's song about a young daughter growing up throughout the years and how she gives her father butterfly kisses. It was like a very emotional song. Do you remember when that came out? It's by the same guy who sang Christmas Shoes. Sir, I want to buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes just a size. Won't you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while. No, the shoes will make her smile. Want to look beautiful when Mama meets Jesus tonight.
Wow. Inertias.
Absolutely weeping.
Yeah, Inertias. I'm weeping. You guys are all weeping. I'm speechless.
So this was
Lady Gaga speechless. Yeah.
Lady Gaga speechless.
Yeah.
This was one of those songs at the time that like your parents would sit in the car and absolutely like have a nervous breakdown and have to like pull the car over. So I requested that at the youth pool party at the pool, and I was a little disappointed. He didn't end up playing it. But I did go home and I told my dad, I said, I'm sorry about the way I acted. So I requested your favorite song at the pool party tonight. And I requested Butterfly Kisses for you. And he went, you did that? Oh, okay.
What a beautiful
tribute
to your father.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't land in that moment, I'm sure that a week or two later, he was sobbing, having a nervous breakdown, thinking about that moment. You know? And honestly, probably the DJ too. And that leads me into my game.
Sure.
This game is called Chering Clothes.
Okay.
And Cher, if you didn't get it.
I got it.
And so I'm going to give you a list of 2 iconic outfits.
Okay.
And you are going to have to pick. This celebrity would share the clothes with you for a night, and you have to pick between the 2. You can only pick one.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready, Greg?
Whose clothes that I want
to wear.
Okay.
Okay. So, are you going to share Cher's thong bodysuit from the
Turn Back Time video.
or J-Lo's Versace dress?
God, me and either of those. I would go with, okay, as much as I love the Cher thong bodysuit, I would go with Versace dress.
Yeah.
Just because, not because I have an affinity for my décolletage, but it's more that I feel it's more flowy. It's a more comfortable. It's not, it gives your legs some room to breathe.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather share Bjork's swan dress?
Okay.
Or Gaga's meat dress?
Swan.
Yeah.
Swan.
Yeah.
How I feel about steak.
Yeah.
It's sort of my least favorite food.
And we bond over this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Burgers. If it was a burger dress, Katy Perry's burger dress.
Yeah.
That one.
Cher's feather headpiece from the Oscars or Zendaya's robot outfit.
Robot outfit a million times. I mean, the headdress is incredible. Might get dinged for appropriation today. But also, who knows, in a few years, the robot might get dinged for appropriation. And I don't want to...
Right now it's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I want to get that on now and then apologize later, But I do not want AI against me.
I do think that the robot outfit is a lot more uncomfortable.
Certainly, but it's cool.
Fashion is pain.
Fashion, yeah.
And I always say that to you.
You do always say that. And I'm in pain looking at what you're wearing. So
most people are.
Sure.
Okay. Madonna's cone bra or Britney Spears' snake outfit.
Cone bra a million times. I will poke your eyes out with my cone bra.
Paris Hilton's outfit in the poster for A Simple Life.
Okay.
Or Michelle Pfeiffer's catsuit.
Wow, that's hard.
I was proud when I came up with that one.
Wow. I thought it was an easy Paris, but no, it's Michelle. It's Catwoman.
Yeah.
Every day, all day, even though that must be the most uncomfortable costume ever, but I can't. Yeah, it's like that is the
sex
costume.
on heels. Yeah. Lil Kim's boob outfit or Rose's diamond necklace and nothing else.
You know what? Normally I like a little fabric to sort of grease the wheels a little bit, but I'm going to go Rose diamond necklace. And that one for sure I'm pawning. She's... What's she going to catch me?
Yeah. Okay. And then last but not least, Lala Ree's bag outfit or Kennedy Davenport's chicken costume.
Oh, wow. In terms of things that I think I'd wear well, that I'd be able to pull off, and functionality, I'm going with Lala.
Yeah.
It's like you can never have enough pockets.
And also, like, so nice to just have a bag on your head. Top of the morning to you.
Exactly. Top of the morning. And people will put, put money in there. Bag.
Yeah.
Bag, absolutely. I could pull that one off.
And for the Jennifers and Inertias who aren't aware, that is a Drag Race reference.
God, I hope you know it.
Yeah, and if you don't, stop what you're doing and look at those two outfits.
Yeah, but also stream the episode over and over while you are doing that.
And with that,
let's take a break.
Let's do it.
Uh-huh. Welcome back. It's time for Diva Down. Diva Down is, of course, our segment where we give unsolicited advice to a person, place, or thing that currently really needs it, even though they didn't ask for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is one that is very near and dear to our hearts. We've been talking about it for a while, and we've decided this is the episode.
Yeah.
And this is for a while now, it's like we've seen this as we've grown up in the gay community, which is just that gay bars are struggling.
They are struggling. They're closing. The ones that are open are, catering to, they're trying to expand, but like, I just don't know there's what's happening there. They're having a conscious of Christ. Wait, they're having a crisis of conscience.
And a conscience of
They're
crisis. Having a fully.
Exactly. A doulea faux.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think with the onslaught, like, and the reason for this is because now there's Grindr. Grindr is taking away, for so many decades, we would find gay people and the queer and the leg butt Kia community, LGBTQIA plus community, would find a safe space in these gay bars, and now they're like slowly closing left and right because people are just going onto Grindr, and then even when they are at the bars, they're not really interacting with people.
Right.
And it's really sad, and we can't lose these pillars of history.
No, absolutely not. I mean, like, these are a place where we congregate, like where we meet. It's not just for hooking up. I mean, there's a place, there's an opportunity for that, but there's also, it's a place where like your community gathers and as you said, like, can be safe and sort of be open and meet others
and not feel like community. An other, but all feel the same and feel like it is like for this little moment in time, we all like, without having to talk, we all get the other person in this specific aspect. And so my advice for honestly our community is I understand that like Grindr's not going anywhere, and so I kind of think, this is my advice, I think actually that the gay bars should like be partnering with Grindr to do like kind of advertise on Grindr to like have a like date night or like slutty night, you know what I mean?
Oh,
and it's like advertising on Grindr to like go to this bar at this time or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, deal with the devil.
Whoa.
And then hopefully maybe these things will like, coexist in a way.
Yeah, get off the phone and get into the bar.
Yeah.
It's like your real life, you're 3 feet away.
Exactly. You
know?
And then, like, if you want, it can be like a shirtless night so everyone feels comfortable because everyone on Grindr is shirtless. So then it's just like shirtless night at Akbar. Great.
Yeah, headless torso night.
Everyone caught off your head.
Everyone cuts off their head. Everyone puts a bag over their head.
Yeah. And you write on your chest what you're into.
Yeah. What you're not into. Old school Grindr style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could be as offensive or inoffensive as you want, but you're in a safe space.
And attach a bunch of nudes onto your body.
Yeah, yeah.
Get it out of the way,
Sure. Do a million hays.
Yes.
Unanswered hays.
You just keep walking by people and you don't stop. Hey, handsome. Yeah, exactly. And then when someone like hot walks by, instead of like actually
faceless,
you just like tap them and you keep walking.
Yeah, like they used to do.
Yeah,
when you used to go into a bar and get your butt slapped by every single person as you passed. Yeah, I mean, I love that advice. Yeah. I also feel like the key thing here is learn how to play some good music again.
I am so glad you brought this up. Gay bars, play better music.
Go back to the well.
Yes.
How about you play some Cher?
Yes.
How about you play some Madonna? Yeah. Teach the kids now what good music is.
Play the entertainer.
Play the entertainer from when I was young coming up. I mean, they're like the DJs now. Well, first of all, West Hollywood. Just if we're gonna speak specifically in LA terms, West Hollywood is playing the trashest of the trash music all the time. Let's bring it back. Yeah. Let's bring it back a little bit. Akbar, they play some old music, but for the most part, it's like pots and pans. Yeah. Like some nights they have great music. It seems as though the jukebox is not working anymore. You know, maybe we replace
that's
the
your ears.
jukebox. What?
So that's your ears.
Yeah. Maybe we replace the jukebox with a big interactive screen so everyone can do Grinder at the bar.
Yes.
Maybe that's what we need. A mixture of technology, both old and new.
Yeah.
Yeah, music and Grinder on a big interactive wall.
And also, I will say one thing: we both love Akbar.
It's my favorite.
It's like have a drink that is like $8 and it's mostly alcohol and a splash of whatever other thing you want to mix it with, as opposed to when you go to these other gay bars, it's $15 for a thimble of alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's mostly ice. And it's like, that is no way to have some fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need a spicy margarita. Like I don't need any of that.
No.
I want a tequila soda that tastes like absolute poison.
Yeah.
To actually make me feel something.
I want to sip it, and every little tiny sip I take, I will think to myself, I will regret this.
Yeah. That I will be belligerent in one moment, but at least I won't be poor tomorrow.
And you look across the way and you lock eyes with someone and you also say, I will regret that. That's what gay bars are for.
That's what they are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. We need to get back to that.
Yes.
On that note.
And on that note.
And of course, listen to Miss Thing.
Yes.
And follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
Put up a story on Instagram. Follow our TikTok. I'm just going to say it a second time because we love a good follow on TikTok. Not that we're prioritizing all of them.
Share our stories.
Yes.
Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Oh, and 5 stars. That's incredibly helpful. Follow us on YouTube and tell your friends. Spread the word.
Go to your local gay bar.
And go to your local gay bar.
And tell them, any person you meet, to listen, like, and subscribe to Miss Thing. Do your civic duty.
Yeah. And make sure if there is a jukebox in the space, they program it with all of the episodes of Miss Thing.
And like we've said earlier, if you do that and it starts playing, you are going to hook up with hot people that night.
Absolutely. Because they're going to be like,
but their mouths are open as they're doing that, and someone else's mouth is open, and so you're already halfway there.
Exactly. But for a moment, they will dance to the entertainer.
Yes. And with that, goodbye.
Au
revoir.
Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zintek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zines.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zintek on all social media. BONK.